Hey, an excuse to do an update video. Truth be told, I am having a lot of problems making videos, and it's not because of anything equipment related, it's because I have severe writer's block. I might as well just say that I'm trying to do a Just Play Along review of a game which is causing me a lot of writing issues. Let's just say that. If you know what the game is, some of you do, don't reveal it. And just a technical note on a couple of things. You might notice that on the Rayman videos, the video quality is not quite as good as some of the stuff that I've made recently using the Dazzle. That's because it's recorded using the old equipment. And I still have a couple of DVDs with a few hours of Rayman footage on them that I'm using those right now. I also have a few DVDs of Shenmue footage, and I'm going to use those instead of trying to re-record everything that I did. There is no way in hell I'm doing that. Part of the reason this is becoming an issue is because I've thought, okay, I'm stuck writing for this one game review, I'll start recording footage for another one. But since I made the switch to Dazzle, it records directly to my PC. And the problem is, my PC is about 7 years old. And it doesn't have a lot of space on it. So I've had to sort of move things around, take things off the computer, get things back on the computer at certain times. It's just been a little hectic trying to organize everything. But in the meantime, I can answer a private message that I recently got. WWECW1990 writes, "Just rewatched all your rant on Bloody Roar and Hudson, and you have some very good points, and the series did indeed have potential, but it just wasn't handled right." Wow, someone agrees with me on that. Now you mentioned that you had a plot outline on Bloody Roar Rebooted, and I would be interested in hearing some of what it may entail. One more thing. If you had the opportunity to go purchase the rights to the Bloody Roar franchise, would you do it, and what developer would you want to handle it, besides you, Maestro, crafting the storyline? Okay, first of all, plot outline. I don't want to reveal too much of it, but it would address what, at least to me, were two of the problems. Number one, it mentions that there's conflict with humans, but it doesn't really do anything other than mention it. It doesn't really make it a part of the actual storyline. You don't really interact with it as you play through the game, except for maybe an ending here or there, but that doesn't really count. Make it more of an integral part of the story progression as you're playing the game. Number two, I really feel like the story lost the sense of individuality in each of the characters, so each one of the characters would have a more detailed plot outline. Possibly more so than in the first Bloody Roar and in the second Bloody Roar. I really want to create specific identities for each of these characters instead of lumping them into fighting game stereotypes. Speaking of fighting game stereotypes, I know this doesn't sound related at first, but if you're Fighters Generation 1 on YouTube, can you stop ignoring all my YouTube comments? It's just that if you filter out all the negative comments and just leave all the positive ones on your page, it makes you look kind of biased. Which you are, but still, you don't want to look that way. Now, if I had the opportunity to purchase the rights, would I do it? Yeah, absolutely, I would. In fact, hold on. Let's see, how much money do I have on me? 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, $27, Hudson. I'll give you $27 for the Bloody Roar franchise. You're not doing anything with it, you haven't announced any future plans to do anything with it, you haven't sold it to anyone already, it's just collecting dust on your shelf. In fact, I'm pretty sure that if I go to the bank, I can make this $27 $30. That's an 11.1111111111 repeating percent increase in my offer. Hudson, you have nothing to lose and $27, possibly $30 to gain from this. Come on! What developer would you want to handle it besides you, Maestro, crafting the storyline? Okay, I would not craft the storyline, at least not alone. The people from the development team and the writing staff would obviously help out too. And in addition to that, I would probably try to open up some sort of small blog or forum where fans of the series could post their input and their ideas that I or the staff wouldn't have thought of. As for what developer, well, obviously not Hudson or Aiding or Raising, because they had their shot with it. But I have a small list here under your PM of some companies that I was going through, because I never really thought about who would take it if Hudson Aiding and Raising didn't. But I've got a small list here, just some ideas to throw out. But Rare, maybe? They did Killer Instinct, and on unrelated notes, Battletoads, Jet Force Gemini, GoldenEye, and Perfect Dark. I mean, that's a pretty solid base of games. Still, if I had my choice, I would probably try and go with a developer that's more based in Japan and has some experience with fighting games, preferably 3D fighting games, since that's what Bloody Roar is. And I would want to, you know, have a developer that has experience with something other than fighting games. Maybe RPGs or adventure titles or something that's a little more story-based so that we can get that into the game too. SNK Playmore, known for Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown, King of Fighters, and on an unrelated note, the Metal Slug series. Interplay. I know they're kind of down recently, but still they've got Clay Fighter, Descent, Earthworm Jim, and MDK. Here's where it gets a little weird. Type Moon Games. They did the Melty Blood series, and they also did a lot of visual novel games, largely based on Fate Stay Night. But they also did Fate Tiger Coliseum, which was a fighting game that sold well but didn't review very well. Again, I haven't played it so I don't know, but still, that's just the reviewers, what they say. The other people that worked on Melty Blood, French Bread, they also did Ragnarok Battle Offline, and might look toward them but might not, because they're largely a Dojin Soft company, which means they do it largely for hobby, not for money, and they use a lot of pre-existing materials for their games. Tamsoft is another one that I looked at. They did the Battle Arena Toshinden games, which wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't really my thing, but it wasn't that bad. They also did a bunch of Simple 2000 games, which I'm not really sure about that. Simple 2000 series is kind of budget title games, and I don't really know if they could handle a larger project. Still, it's a possibility. Now this is the one that, at least to me, makes the most sense. It's Team Ninja. Now they're a subsidiary of Tecmo, and they've largely been responsible for the Dead or Alive series. Again, not something I really like, but it's a solid fighting game series, and it's 3D. They also did the Ninja Gaiden games, and something they're working on right now is Metroid Other M. And because they're a subsidiary of Tecmo, they can get some experience from them as well. Tecmo's been involved in games like Rygar and the Fatal Frame series, so you know they can tell an at least half-decent story. Just some ideas I thought I'd throw out there, and I'm going to try and work on more videos. Later.